So today I basically wasted my entire morning and like somehow I turned the day into some of my most productive days ever. And I know exactly how I did it and I'm gonna show it to you. And then I also worked on a very big ass system as you see over here that is gonna help me to achieve my goals like inevitably. It's not finished, but it's on a very good trajectory. So today is day 72, documenting my progress for creating my space science learning app. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's get started. Let me just show you and explain you what I've been doing today. So let's go. So let me start with the time management problem and productivity. I'm gonna give you some context on how it was before and what was the problem that made me absolutely waste my morning. And then I'm gonna show you exactly how and what I did to find the problem and be aware of it and fix it. So yeah, let's go. Okay, so before I execute the task, I usually just put the name of it. I put the intention, the objective, like what do I want to have achieved after the work block, after doing the task. For example, right now is having a fully working system, which might not be like the most realistic thing, but it's an intention, it's a direction that I want to go in. And then I actually plan this, like I put the minutes, I put exactly what do I need to do. And I mean, this seems pretty nice, but even with this, I still managed to waste my whole morning. Now, what was the problem? I didn't know. I finished the morning, I finished this task at 7:15, and I just had no idea what the hell was going on. I had a feeling, and that's it. So then I followed a specific process of reflection. And let me show you that, because that was exactly what made me like be aware of the problem and actually fix it. Alright, so this is what I basically do. It's called a Kolb cycle. It's a specific reflection. So if you go here, the first thing that I do is see if I'm stacking it. Like if I do an experiment, am I reflecting over an experiment that I did? In this case, I didn't. So then I will exactly say what am I going to reflect about. As you see here in this example, I said that I attempted to do a task to map out my processes, but I wasn't productive at all and I didn't achieve any output basically, or very little output. Then what would a 1% task be? Like what would be a very little thing that will propose me or that will launch me in direction of fixing this problem? Now, I put that becoming aware of what caused me to not be as productive, that would be the progress, the marginal gain. Then this is where I actually mine for stuff. As you see, here's the actual reflection, the big reflection, and here's what I actually think. I actually put here the list of things that happened in chronological order. I started by putting the main things, the main big picture things. So I set the intention and objective, and I planned this task. And then I started working on the plan by doing research and making a list about all of the skills and basically just doing the task. Now, here I put that during this process, what happened, How did I feel exactly? Then, what I did was trying to look for emotions, strong emotions that I felt during the experience, during my productive time. And I did this because usually when I find that I'm feeling something, or maybe it's very strong fear, maybe it's anxiety, that's where actually the gold is, That's where the insights are to fix the problem. So I try to think about it here, I try to think about it here, I try to think about it here and here as well. So I try to think about it a lot. If I feel that I had a feeling, a strong feeling, I'm gonna just search for that feeling and trying to uncover it, It's like when you smell, it's gonna be a weird example, but when you smell dog shit, you don't know where it is, but it's close, But you have to follow it. That's basically it. That's basically what I'm doing. And then here, a very important step: how did I respond to challenges and difficulties? Well, I made a lot of things here. I said a lot of things, but in summary, here I'm writing my thoughts about what happened, and I'm trying to uncover. Okay, so now here, basically what I did was just reflect over that. And if you want to read it, you can, because I think it's valuable maybe. And then here I just kept reflecting. Then I made kind of like a summary, like what did I actually get from this reflection? My observations, you could say. And what I observed was that it doesn't matter what I write on the plan, on this column, it doesn't matter what I write here. The important part is what I actually believe. So I found after this reflection that I believe that this is going to take a while and it's okay if I'm not productive. That's what I believed. That's what I subconsciously believed and thought. But then I lied to myself and I just said that no, I'm gonna do this in 20 minutes. I'm gonna do this in 20 minutes. Yeah, for sure. But I didn't actually believe it, and that is a big problem. That's basically the main source of why I wasn't productive. And I tried to delude myself when I planned for tasks, like, and I did that. I deluded myself because I knew that if I didn't delude myself, if I faced that I might have to do this in a short period of time, then I would have to face discomfort. I would have to face uncertainty. I would have to face fear and pain and like mental effort. And I want that because that's growth. But my subconscious mind, my brain, instinctively just doesn't want for me to spend resources. And I realized that. Now here is I said that I need to be aware of this and ask myself if I actually want the comfort and not be productive and just chill out and doing the tasks like chill, just not doing anything, or if I want to challenge myself, grow, achieve my goals and be productive. So after this, like my mindset completely shifted, and I asked myself if I would do this in any other parts of my life. I think I do, but I'm not aware of it. Then I said the experiment. After all this reflection, I just like reduced it down to this. Next time I plan a task, I'm gonna set the time needed for the task and set the intention, the belief to actually finish the task. I'm gonna believe it. I'm gonna finish it by that time. And then when the timer ends, I'm gonna actually move on, because this will allow me to actually take seriously the time that I plan. Now I did this. I went over here. And this is the thing. This is the actual task. This is the actual thing that I did. This is the actual work block that I was really productive in. So I set here the intention, as I always do. But now I ask myself, what is the 1% gain? What is the 1% task that is going to allow me to achieve this intention, go in the direction of this intention? And then I chose the option that I thought was better for for the productivity, for my goal. And then I set a timer of 15 minutes. How much time do I actually need to achieve this task, this marginal gain, this intention? How much time do I actually need? I said, well, 15 minutes to achieve what I want to achieve, 15 minutes. And I just did it in 15 minutes. I just went really hard and did it. Boom. Incredibly productive. Then after these 5 minutes, I evaluated my task. I just reflected on how it went. And then I created another experiment. What's my next marginal gain? What's my next 1% task? And here I put another task. How much time am I actually going to need for this? 15 minutes. And then I set here a little intention. My intention is to find as many errors and gaps as possible in my system, in my processes, and then note them down and improve my system, both here in Notion and here on the free flow canvas. 15 minutes, and I did it in 15 minutes. This is really, really good. The same thing over here, actually. I set here the intention here, and then I put 10 minutes for this. How much time do I actually need to achieve the intention that I have? Boom, 10 minutes. Then I did it in 10 minutes, and then I moved on. And that's how I literally did all of this and all of this in what, how long? 2 hours and a half, I think. The thing is, after 1 hour and 20 minutes, I saw that I was more productive than I usually am in an entire day. That is crazy. So that's what I wanted to share. And next, now it's a big recording already. It's a bit long right now, so I'm not gonna explain this fully. But what I'm going to do is give you a quick overview of what's going on over here. So let's start with the big picture. Let's start by just saying, why is this process actually important? Well, it's going to allow me to know exactly what to do at any moment to achieve my goals. And it's going to make it clear, what am I doing? How can I improve? It's going to make me much more aware of my process to achieve my goals, to work every day for time management, for coding, for learning. And if I'm aware of my processes, then it's going to be easier to pinpoint exactly where I'm weak, exactly where I need to improve. Now, I'm going to show you what I did today, kind of. So here, it's more related to studying, pre-study, when I do my main learning event, which could be a lecture, could be a full study session, and when I'm processing information, and there's no backbone and no pre-study, basically nothing. I'm just going from scratch. I have information that's coming in and I'm trying to process it. What do I do? Well, information comes in and I do note-taking in a paper, in a canvas like this one, and I try to make it non-linear. I try to put some visuals some symbols, and I try to delay it as much as possible, as you see, process as much as possible before representing it on the paper. Why do I do this? Because this forces me to process information instead of just mindlessly writing it down, which is like this kind of note taking is so much more effective at learning, and that's what I'm trying to practice. Then after I do this note taking, I'm gonna try to integrate it into a mind map, and I'm gonna try to form it into a mind map. Now, when I try to do this, I'm gonna see that it's getting really messy, and there's like many arrows that are going to one thing. When I see that it's messy or this thing, I'm gonna simplify it. I'm gonna try to group the information. I'm gonna simplify it. I'm gonna try to find similarities and differences between information and try to group it. This act of grouping it is what makes my memory really robust and what actually makes me learn much better even. Now, if I'm not sure how to group it or how to simplify it, I can do one of those things. I can just learn more about it. If the information is coming from AI or from videos, because I can stop the video, then I will do some research and I will ask curiosity and clarifying questions to clarify what am I not understanding and what do I need to understand to actually group the information or simplify it. Now, if I'm doing it live, when there's like I'm learning from a person that's speaking, or I'm learning from a lecture where I can't just pause the lecture, like if it's in real time, then I can't. Then I'm just going to hypothesize. I'm going to make a hypothesis on what do I think it's more correct. Then, when I actually sit down for a long study session, what do? Well, I just I learn about a topic. Now, this process of learning about a topic is really complex, and I haven't mapped it out here yet, but I will be doing it over the next following days. As I said, this is not yet finished, but it's in a really good path. Then I'm gonna test myself. Like after I've done my main learning event on a topic, after a couple of days, I'm gonna test myself. And here's the spacing that I'm gonna use. After the main learning event, after 1 day, I'm gonna test myself with a technique. The main objective here on this study session would be to find gaps in my knowledge and note them down. And then I'm going to use a technique that depends on my learning goals. What do I want to use the knowledge? Like, why do I want to learn the knowledge? Where am I going to use it? Am I going to just use it in a procedural setting, which means that am I going to use it in a very practical environment? For example, if I'm going to only use the knowledge in my workplace and I'm not going to get tested on like facts or something, I'm just going to need to be able to apply what I learned, then I guess I would just focus more on the procedural aspect, because this is like practice, this is like the thing that I do. This is understanding what, this is doing it. And then there's like higher order knowledge, which is knowledge that's very interconnected, and lower order knowledge is knowledge that is very isolated. The best thing here would be for my knowledge to be higher order, because this represents more of the knowledge of a master at a topic or a skill or anything. Now, after doing the technique and after I find the gaps in my knowledge, I will just go back, I will note the gaps, and then I will do another session in 3 to 5 days, then 10 to 20 days, then 30 to 60 days. And yeah, that's basically it. Then I also did some things here, but it's getting a bit laggy. I'm gonna explain this and then I'm gonna be finishing the video, because I'm not finishing it, but just moving to the next part. Now here, if anything, if I get an idea, if I want to insert a task, if I make a mistake, if I have a problem, if I have a focus point that I want to set, if I have an idea about a 1% gain that I want to add, anything, I'm gonna put it through this system. So I'm gonna develop or define a marginal gain for a 1% gain for anything of this. Then I'm gonna define exactly what I'm thinking about. Like imagine if it's a focus point that I want to define. For example, in YouTube, I want to focus on being more direct, and I want to set that intention to be more direct, to not go so much into the weeds and speak a bit more clearly. If I want to do that, then I just can define it. I can define that thing, what I just said, max 25 words. I don't want it to be too long. Then I will define what it is, like the type. Is it a problem? Is it a task? Is it, I don't know, 1% gain? Is it, who knows, whatever. I will define it. Then I will identify which area is this helping me in, which skill is this helping me in, which process. In this case, in this example, it's YouTube. Then I'm gonna evaluate the priority of this area. Like, is YouTube a priority that I'm right now focusing on? If it's not, then I will just keep this task on the record. I will just keep it somewhere. But if it is, then I can just keep going and make an experiment about this task or this problem or this focus point that I'm trying to do. Now the experiment has to be really focused and clear and directional. So here I'm going to define it and I'm going to plan it. I'm going to put where exactly am I going to, like where exactly does it sit in the process? In this case, in this example, if I'm trying to be more direct in YouTube, I can set an experiment to be more direct in a certain part of the YouTube video. For example, in this part, I could set an experiment to avoid using filler words and to go straight to the point. I would put an experiment there, and the location would be this part of the video, the part where I'm explaining what I did today. That would be the location. Then the intention and the objective of this experiment, and the date and exact time when I'm gonna execute this experiment. Then I'm gonna execute it, and these are some mindset concepts that will help me with the execution that I haven't yet mapped out. I'm gonna do a collapse, as I just showed you before. It's a reflection process. And then I'm gonna consolidate. I'm gonna ask myself, what have I learned from the previous attempts at this same thing? Like, if I have attempted to be more direct previously, what have I learned? Can I see any patterns on the previous reflections that I have done? Then I'm gonna prioritize what direction do I want to go in. Like, do I think that I'm good with experimenting on being direct? Do I think I'm good, or do I think that I need to change to a different focus point? Well, if it's the same, I'm just gonna create another experiment. But if it's a different area, I'm gonna try to prioritize it again. That's basically kind of the main idea. Now, after I actually completed this process fully, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna just explain it 100%. But right now, as you see, there's many orange things over here. This means that these are improvements and inefficiencies, that I need to work on and improve. That's basically it. I mean, I also did some here in Notion over here related to the system. And this is not finished, so I'm just not going to explain it much, but I'm trying to put this system into an actual Notion page and databases and connect everything. As you see, it's not yet finished, but it's going there. So now I'm going to start the next part of the video, which are basically the clips and the videos and the time lapses that I've done during the day. And I've been documenting my whole day, like my meals, how I've been planning, how I've been doing stuff. That's basically it. And yeah, let's get started. Alright, so good morning. Hope everything is going amazing, and I just planned some stuff, so let me show you. As you see here, I have put the name and, well, the intention. What do I want to get out of this work block, out of this task after I finish it, like after the time ends, my exact plan to achieve that task and kind of like the minutes that it should take, and then exactly when am I gonna do it. So as you see here, from 4:35 to 6:45, and this automatically gets put over here. Then the first thing that I did was actually prioritize it and see if it actually if this task is making progress towards a skill and a process that is right now important for me, and it is. So it's for self-regulation. Now I'm gonna do the processes that I've explained to you. This is how right now it looks. It's kind of like this, and it's only when anything, and there's this every month, every day, and every week. It's basically like this for now, but I'm gonna map out a lot of things because I want to create the actual system that I want to create. And right now I'm gonna see what parts of the process that I have, of the processes, are weak and which ones do I have to improve. Alright, so it's finished. Now I'm gonna go take a cold shower. I'm gonna cook dinner and lunch. And after that, I will be just going to school. And then, as I said, I will be coming back and doing something. I don't know what yet, but I will prioritize and plan my task. So let's get it done. See you in a second when I bring the food after school. Here is the meal. So we got some cheese, we got peanuts, and we've got the main thing, which is chicken breast cooked in butter, tomatoes, and onions. And yeah, there's a lot of liquid here, but I love it like this, and I love the flavor. There's also some avocado down there. And yeah, I love this meal because it has a lot of protein, a lot of fats, and it's amazing. I don't usually eat the cheese, but today is an addition. So let's get this done and see you in a second. Okay, so I finished eating and I just planned what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep going with my processes, like mapping all of this out, and yeah, let's get it done. I also have applied what I've learned from the reflection that I did, and it had to do with time. I mean, I probably have explained this already, but yeah, the problem with time management and all of that. So I have reflected, and now I'm gonna try this again. Let's go. Alright, so right now I've finished recording what I had to record. I've recorded the explanation of the video, the thing you first saw. And right now I'm gonna go for a run, even though it's a bit late, it's 7:23 p.m. As you see here on the calendar, over here, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna meditate and do gratitude. I'm gonna have dinner, I'm gonna eat, and not, I'm gonna edit, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. So yeah, let's go for a run. See you in a second. Another beautiful day. Whew. I've been improving my running technique. I actually don't my knees actually don't hurt anymore, which is really nice. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Let's go. Whew. It's completely done. Let's get back home. Let's get a shower. I can't speak. Alright, so time for the 20-minute meditation, gratitude journaling, and that's basically it. Let's go. Today's meal, we've got some peanuts because I ran and I burned many calories. We got some 12 eggs, sardines, and the same salad and salt. Yeah, so let's get this done, and today it's done. I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna edit the video, and I'm gonna upload, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. Wake up tomorrow. I'm currently like sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night, but I'm tired, but I'm okay. I feel actually really happy, so that's nice. And I'm making progress, so I love it. Let's go. Bye bye.